All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 3/8 ratchet, and it's a Husky Charles Boy 45. The patent date on this is, they applied for it in 1957. They made these up until the 70s. So about a 20-year run. Nothing wrong, except it's really, I'm having to work to switch it. So it's pretty dirty. It's dry as a bone. It's like stuck right there, but I think it's just because it's dirty and dry. Let's take it apart and see what we got. These are pretty easy mechanisms. I mean, they're a little more complicated than they need to be, but not a big deal. It's definitely dirty. Yeah, it's one of these that's got the little spring. There's a spring down in that pocket. Yeah, it's dry. No damage that I see. I don't really see anything yet. But then again, kind of early. There's an E-clip on top here. I'm going to take off if I don't lose it. Take this piece off. God. Take this piece off. Has a little, that has a spring on it. See how that spring sticks up? That's what the hole's for on this plate. This is your switching plate. Switch your mechanism left and right. See your spring? There's your spring. Now you got another spring. You gotta be careful with it, you don't lose it. And that floats. It's a little short spring, and that floats this gear right here. I say gear, it's actually a paw with teeth on it. That's it. Solid chunk of metal here. Detent's not stuck. Just rust. Needs to be cleaned. Yeah, it's just dry as bone. There was nothing here that was really in good shape. I want to look at the inside, the teeth here. Before I go any further, put that spring and that spring on my magnet so I don't lose it. A little wire brush here. Yeah, it's nasty dry. Probably just put a wire. I got some new wire wheels. Doesn't look greasy. It looks just caked on dirt inside there. I want to see the teeth. I want to make sure there's no chipped tooth or anything in there. You can see the dirt coming out. All right, let me hook up, I don't have an extra wheel on my, oh wait a minute, let's use, hang on. Let's use the fiber wheel. So you can see what the inside. I can see rust down in there, and what I'm doing is polishing the rust off so that cap can spin smooth and free. Now look at the inside. You can see some corrosion, the rust. Yeah, that's rust down in there. It's eating into the metal a little bit. I can feel it dragging. Let's see if I can show you. I can feel it dragging on my pick. So it's not perfectly smooth. And what that is this rides on there. Look how bad this is. So I'll clean the edge of that up really nice and make it as polished as I can. And that way it won't drag in there. All right, and the teeth. Actually, come on, focus, focus, focus. Teeth look really good. Have some wear. I can see some high mark wear here and there, but nothing's broke. Should operate just fine. And I haven't cleaned this one at all, but I can see the teeth. Nothing's chipped. And the teeth are pronounced, so that's a good sign. All right, let me finish cleaning these parts up. I'm gonna use Dremel. I'll polish it with the Dremel here. I'll use these fiber wheels and I'll clean this up. It should be really good. I'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to show you. I cleaned really well. It's got a black oxide finish, I believe, and this I polished. I cleaned them real good. It didn't take me but maybe 10-12 minutes. And this surface I cleaned really well because it rides on this, so you can see the original machining marks from the factory. And it's so smooth. You can see a little bit of, I'd say that's pitting on there, maybe. But the surface, I cleaned it and polished it just a little bit, not long. But that rides on there. And this piece, that's your selector. That's what turns it left and right. It doesn't move much, but I wanted it as nice and clean as possible to give it a smooth control, smooth use. I think when I get this back together, and I got the inside really nice, this thing ought to work superb. It should be a great tool. I think what I'm gonna do is, since I've got this far, I don't have much time in it, I might as well go ahead and give it a light polish and clean the knurling up. It's got some dirt and stuff in the knurling. But anyways, let's go to the wire wheel, see what we can do there. ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to put this thing back together. Let's grab the springs here. Start with a little. You can use oil if you want, grease. I'm using Mobil 1 synthetic. It's all I ever use, so that's what I use. You don't need a lot. Some people will tell you, you coat it, you just ooze it in there, just put it everywhere, and that's fine. It's not a problem. It'll just, as you're using it, it'll ooze out everywhere. I don't like that, but you can. Now, first thing to do, this little spring, let's go this way. I'm trying, for some reason I can't, there it is. Like that. And all you do is set it down in there. Before I go any further, put that little spring right in there. Now, let me grease the back of this. Doesn't need much, but I'm still going to put some on it. The ears go up. See how that spring is? See that? It's not hard. It just, these are a little more complicated than it really needed to be. That goes on there like that. See how that spring, see how that little ear sticks up? Now, this has a tiny hole. See that tiny hole? See where it's at? Right there? That's your selector. Now, before I go any further, shoot, I should have. Back up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to put a little oil, not oil, but a little grease on top of this. Now let's catch that spring again. Stay down, don't try to pop up on me. Now, the E-clip. Don't lose the E-clip. I have lost it before. Sucks. See if my little pliers will do it. Almost lost it. My spring, everything tried to come loose on me. Hang on, let me take this apart. There, fit down on there. Dog ears are down. This needs to be down. This needs to be down. It's all together. Now, maybe I can. There. And then this selects. This goes on top. See? See how the top of everything's interconnected. It all goes together. Now, go any further. I'm getting grease. I'm just going to put grease on top of this. And this has a cavity. It can go left to right. It can go either way, so long because that slot right there just fits right like so. Now the grease is stuck to it, see? Now, before I go any further, I'm going to grease the inside of this gear. I call this the ring gear. It looks like a ring gear, so I call it a ring gear. Put a little bit, not much. I don't want where this cap resides. Oh yeah, by the way, I cleaned that cap. See how I polished that cap real good? See this edge? That rides on the inside of this wrench. And this just fits down in there, but to get it down in there, you may have to push down on the spring or adjust this just a little bit. Just turn it just a touch. See, it fits down in there. That's it. Clip. And I cleaned the clip real good. Except I got metal fiber hairs from that, whoops, don't go out. From the steel wool. And I got, I do remember, I think I paid $2 for this wrench. All right, let's back up a little bit. I got some wax here, that's what I use. And the only reason I use the wax, it helps, it just helps prevent moisture from sticking. It just wicks it off. Also, clean the compound, rubbing compound off, the polishing compound. It's not, I mean, this is not a high dollar wrench by any means. It's not brand new. It's 40 to 70 years old. For those of you born before 1957, the patent on this was applied in 1957, granted 1961. This ratchet style, many companies made this style, and it's USA made. Probably at the time it's USA steel. I didn't give it the best polishing job because I really didn't need to, because this is just an extra ratchet. Now listen to that. Now it switches easily. Before it was real stiff. That is superb. Look at that. You can see where I missed some polishing, where I didn't do a very deep. See, you can see where some of it polished real good, and some of it is kind of a satin. Didn't. Then you can see here where it polished real good. And you can see where I erased most of the damage where it sits in the toolbox and rattles. But this is a Husky made, and this is a true Husky. And what I mean by that is American made Husky. Most Husky tools now, probably 98% of all Husky tools aren't even made in the United States. I don't know if they still make any. I don't think they do, tell you the truth. But the knurling cleaned up really nice. There's a little damage spot right there where it got hit, but it doesn't look like anybody used this as a breaker bar because there's not any knurling. It's really beat up with a hammer. It's usually what you find. And said, for $2 tool, ladies and gentlemen, you can't beat that. Most people, I think new, the Chinese made are selling for between $17 and $21 at Lowe's. So yeah, I got a good deal for $2. Teeth are in excellent condition. A little bit of wear, but nothing broke. There's nothing on this that wouldn't make it a good everyday tool. It's actually capable. The only problem, I'm partial to thumb release, though I don't use them that often. I do like them. The head on this is a little thick, but overall, for majority of the work, very few tools are needed for tight conditions. Unless you're working on some of your smaller cars, most of your larger vehicles, you don't need. And that, speaking of, most of us don't even work on our vehicles anyways. I do. I haven't taken a vehicle to a shop in 20 years. But anyways, good tool, good usable tool for $2. Ladies and gentlemen, look for this stuff. There's a lot of good quality used tools out there that you can find. You know, all it really needed is to be taken apart and little light cleaning and oiling, and it'd have been just fine. I went the extra mile and polished a couple of the pieces on the inside and made it super smooth, and it really is really nice now. So it's not hard to do. I show the steps. I hope I show everything that I do, and I know the polishing, I went from one wheel to the next. I went from the wire wheel to the flapper wheel to the Scotch-Brite wheel, and then I went back to the 2000 grit wheel, and then I went to the polisher, the cotton polisher. All within probably less than 10 minutes. And it didn't do, like I said, it's not the best job, polishing job, but I didn't care. I just wanted it nice and clean and a good looking tool. It's not, you know, it's not a ornamental piece. It's not something to hang on the wall. This is a good used tool, ladies and gentlemen, for $2. There again, $2. Quality used tool. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Get out there and look for this stuff. If you need something, write it down on a piece of paper and carry it in your wallet. Ladies, same way. The reason I say that, gentlemen, there's a couple ladies here in town where I work here. I made a couple of monsters, and one of them is, she's going for electrical journeyman's here pretty quick. So she's looking for tools, and I've turned her on to a couple of places that I buy, and she's out there looking for tools. There's women out there that do a lot of good work, and doesn't hurt. Buy the best you can get for the best money you can afford. And right here is an example. All right, I need to shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, give me thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what you think, and subscribe if you like. If you don't like, well, nothing I can do about it. Y'all have a good day.